hello, this is why going my own way. So I am a living Airbnb host. So I use my spare room for Airbnb hosting. And I started hosting 7 years ago, which is year 2012. And for 4 years, I haven't hosted, which is year 2013 to 17, because I was renting for those 4 years. The initial year, I lived north of Chicago in Illinois. In the last 3 years, I lived in San Diego, California. So both places, my family were renting the townhouse. So because of the sublet, we didn't host Airbnb. And I know, I am aware that many hosts doing Airbnb hosting, even though they are renting apartment, renting townhouse. So they don't take outside picture, like door or outside picture from outside, so that people might notice, like neighbor might catch. And also, either neighbor complains or homeowners association find out, and so which is why we didn't host for 4 years. And one thing I noticed after 4 years blank, 4 years not hosting, and came back hosting again, and I noticed that nowadays many guests forget writing review. 7 years ago, I hosted, let's say, 20 times, and there was only one couple, only one time the guest didn't leave review. And I didn't leave review either because the couple didn't read our description, and our description says we have a small kitchen and we live here, so we don't offer kitchen privilege, so please eat dinner elsewhere or just heat up the food and eat, so please do not cook. But the particular couple, they are in their 60s or so, and they struggle using a smartphone, and then maybe that's why they didn't read the description. So majority of our guests, they are very busy and wake up in the morning and eat breakfast quickly, and then go out and come home like after 9 p.m. or 10. So they eat at the restaurant somewhere in Washington, D.C. Because there are many nice restaurants in Washington, D.C. or any big city. So that was 7 years ago, and majority of the guests were happy to write review. But 4 years after that, I noticed the change, like mentality or attitude of Airbnb members. I would say 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4 guests, they forget writing review, and I am a member of Facebook hosting study group, how to be a better host. And there was someone who lives in Texas, the super host in Texas, and he says when he asked the guest to write review in their primary language, in their mother tongue. For instance, if the guest is from Mexico, the host asks, would you mind writing review in your own language, which is Spanish? And if the guest is from France, same goes, would you write review in French language? And I thought it was good idea. And then so that the super host in Texas says majority of guests are happy to write review in their own language. Sounds like they are so it's like a compliment that the original language is beautiful. And I thought it was a great idea, but in reality I have never asked that favor because most of my guests English speaking people, like US citizen or like someone from South Africa. I forgot the name of the town. It's not Johannesburg or Cape Town, and I forgot the name of the town. But his first language is actually that person from South Africa, he has another language to speak, so I could have asked that his primary language. And in fact, that guest particular is the one who made me become a super host. So I tried to say that I have never asked any guest to use their primary language to leave review. Maybe I will ask that. Although half of my guests English is their first language, so we'll see. And then oftentimes I have to remind the guest few days after the checkout, and I say, thank you for staying with us, and I hope your flight was okay, and once your jet lag is gone, would you consider writing a review? So it's embarrassing to ask, but I have to ask. And I like 2 events ago, 2 visits ago, like few months ago, I started calling the guest as soon as I receive the official booking, and then is my house room okay, and shower is on the 3rd floor, and your room only has half bath, and I'm sorry about that, and what breakfast do you want? And then I think from now on I should ask if have you is this your first time using Airbnb, and do you always write review? And because it takes some moment to do it, and I hope you don't mind. taking a moment to write a review. Yeah, I think I will ask in the beginning, and then yeah, after checking out, it's a little bit awkward to ask. So yeah, I will ask in the beginning when I call the guest, and then if the guest speaks another language, it might be nice if I ask to use their first language. Yeah. So yeah, my intention is that the original language is kind of beautiful. So yeah, so that's it. Yeah, I am a living host. I live on the premise and using spare key. Oh, excuse me, spare room. And yeah, I know entire house is popular because because they have privacy and space for larger group, but private room with host present, it has some. I would like to offer some family like experience. So if of course I try not to bother the guest all the time. I try not to hover because majority of my guests are busy, wake up early and then come back late. So yeah, I try to be friendly, but try to read social cue because the guest is busy. So yeah, hooray to private room host who lives on the premise. Yeah, thank you and have a great day. Bye.